Blazer Victory Podcast, John Duncan here, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host Darian Smith. And Darian, this is the kind of game recap episode that we need to have every week, and that we were anticipating on having more often. But today was awesome, wasn't it, buddy? 41-14 over a good middle. Like, this is not a bad
Yeah,
team, man. This is
not at
a
all.
good Middle Tennessee team.
Right. This is the same team that put it on Miami. It wasn't a fluke win. Go back and watch the game. It wasn't a fluke win. They put it on Miami. So, and then they had they had a good game against UTSA.
Mm-hmm.
They were right there. Like this is a good team, and and here we are, like we put it on them. I don't know. Where do you want to start with this one, John?
Man, honestly, we got to start with the rushing attack that UAB had today, which I mean, Debo was Debo, Skull was Skull, but I got to give it kudos to the guys up front, to our O-line, man, like getting 303 rushing yards against a really stout Middle Tennessee front defensive line. Like, heading into this game, Middle Tennessee was only giving up about 107, 108 rush yards per game, and UAB blasted them for 303 rushing yards. And that UAB just dominated up front really the whole game. And really, too, on the defensive side, UAB put pressure on Middle, even with, rushing three for the majority of the game. But I think we've got to start with our offensive line, Darren, especially coming off of the Rice game last week. And they ran the ball well against Rice, but I don't know, man. They just looked like they were a hungry group today. They were just pushing, or they were kind of ragdolling that defensive line from Middle Tennessee.
Maybe they listened to the pod or something.
They might have, man. Hey, I'm glad they did if they did.
It was like everything that we had a complaint. It's like they came and just answered everything. I don't know, that wasn't it. It's just that we played smart, especially in that first half. Like, it was only one penalty, one PI. And we played smart, and we didn't have a holding call on that offensive line. Like, so I was impressed because you remember those first two plays of the game?
Yes.
We bombed it deep, and then we threw play action right after, both on first downs. Like, and our O-line protection-wise, that was one thing that we came in wanting to see, is like they put pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And we came out throwing the ball. We were throwing all over them. And they could not get any pressure. They wasn't touching Dylan back there.
See, and I'm glad you mentioned that, man, because when we did our preview, like, Middle was averaging about 9 TFLs per game, like tackle for loss per game. And yeah, I think the guys, not only in the run game, but I think pass protection, I think the guys did a great job keeping Dylan and Zeno, when he came in, well protected.
Right. I think one thing that really slowed down Middle's defensive line was, like, we kept them off balance. This was by far Brian Vincent's best call game.
Yes, kudos to Brian Vincent. Yeah, he really stepped it up, man, with his play calling. Like, and everything was well executed. It was like, especially like I'm super glad you brought up that first drive. Bomb to Shropshire. And then they hurry up through another quick out to Shropshire. Like, it just seems that he had a great plan, and that was the first drive, so that was scripted. But I thought they did a great job the whole game in keeping everything kind of well balanced between the run and the pass.
The entire game. This is the first game I was like, all right, let's just run it here. Boom,
Yeah.
It was like I thought we were gonna run it sometimes. Like, no, we're gonna be aggressive. I'm like, man, like, this guy, who is this guy that's calling this game? I was so appreciative, because I really feel like that is what really stymied. That really gave our offensive line an extra advantage, because they didn't know run, pass. And I know a lot of times in the game, they was coming down. They either had that single safety high. You can tell that their defensive game plan was to stop the run. And they came in kind of sold out to it. And they felt like that we haven't proved that we could throw the ball. And they wanted to challenge us. And, man, we beat them up. Like, our receivers.
We did.
Schropp had 6 receptions and 192 or 93 yards in a half.
Yes.
In a half. Like, that is unheard of. Like, almost 200 yards in a half. That's
Yeah.
because we had great protection and we kept them off balance. Like it was, you didn't know if it was run, pass, whatever, and it just slowed down that offense on that defensive line. And then so in the run game, in turn, they could not get any. I was telling you during the game, it's like they haven't. Sometimes what we do, especially when we run that stretch play, is they get some linebacker and they somebody's able to knife in to get a TFL. Everybody, it was helmets on helmets. We were playing on their side of the line of scrimmage. They didn't know if it was run or pass. Hell, we didn't know if it was run or pass.
Right.
And like you said, everything was so beautifully executed for the most part today. You know, we called a play, we ran, we got to the spots where we were supposed to go. We broke tackles, we made catches. Schropp looked like the Schropp that we know he can be. He looked like a star today. They could not cover him. Tayshaun Palmer, Fred Farrier, key third down catch,
Yes.
Dexter Boykin. Like
Couple
I'm just not
catches.
realizing
Yeah.
Ryan Davis went out there today. But
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, and but I mean, but honestly, like you didn't notice because I mean these other guys were stepping up, and but especially Shropshire, man. Like what a performance, man! 6 for 193 yards. Like, man.
he had that at the half.
Yes, in one half.
That is nuts, man. He could have broke a record if he wanted to, but man, kudos to BV, man. That was the best called game I feel like he's had at his tenure here because it was flawless.
It
The play,
was.
you know, and it was such balance. We took shots deep. We took shots over the middle. We did screens. Like we did everything. Like we had those guys guessing, and you can tell that their defensive coordinator was like, "Who are we playing?"
Right.
But yeah,
And you
just to come
know,
out aggressive was
we kind of
impressive.
looked at each other. We looked at each other during the game. And it seems like when UAB went up, was it 14-0? It was like that whole Middle Tennessee sideline. They were ejected. They were like, oh, "Okay, we're done here," and
Yeah,
they just wanted to go home, man. But UAB kept the foot on the gas, and that's another thing. You know, we've kind of talked about Darren. Like, you know, can we put a team? Can we just put a team away? Like just put your foot on their neck and put them away. And I thought UAB did that today. You know, they never let Middle claw back at all in this game.
have you? Yeah, I know you have because you got a little one. You got a little son. 14 months.
Mm-hmm.
Have you? You know that good feeling when you successfully put your baby down and you have a plan in your head like I think he's just hungry, so I'm gonna change him. I'm gonna put some food in his bottle, get him
Right.
full. I'm gonna hold him a certain way. I'm gonna rock him,
Yes.
and he likes to be rocked this way. And then I'm gonna put his little song on, and he's gonna go to sleep. That is what we did. I mean, we said, hey, and I got nervous. I'm like, is your wife coming to you like, you think you can put him down? Like, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it this
Uh-huh.
time.
Wow. Great
Yeah,
analogy. But that's
right.
what it was,
You are
though.
right.
Yeah.
So we sitting there nervous. We asking the coach, if we could, be like, hey, you think you can put this team away? Because you remember your dad leaned down to
Mm-hmm.
me and said, let's see if we can put them away. Coming out when
Mm-hmm.
like, let's see if we can. And man, we ended the half. I'm talking about 3 and out, score, touchdown. They come back
Mm-hmm.
3 and out of halftime. I'm like, wow, we really rocked the baby to sleep, like flawlessly. It wasn't a loud noise to wake the baby up. It wasn't. We didn't. It was flawless. I'm like, man, as a parent, you feel so good when you do it. Like, hey, I got my baby to sleep at 7:30. I got the rest of the night. Wow. And
Right.
that's exactly how it felt, man. Kudos to the team. They put that baby to sleep.
I'm telling you, Darren, the way the guys played today, that is championship quality football, the way they played today. And that is a very, contrasting from what we saw last week in Rice. And I'm glad you also mentioned earlier, too, only the one penalty in the first half. Now, granted, they did end up, 9 penalties for 94 yards, but a lot of that was during garbage time, so I'm not even going to worry about that. I thought the team played a lot smarter today and just came in with the bounce back mentality. And from the moment that ball was kicked off to start the game to the moment the final whistle blew, the team just performed at a high level. And that is what we said going into this season, Darren. It's like, we could see it. We could see it in practice. We could, we saw it. So it was great to see them kind of put it all together. And the most exciting thing to me is I still don't think today was 100% of what this team can do. Like, this team can still do more things. So it was exciting. Now, we talked a little bit about the receivers. I want to give kudos to Dylan Hopkins, 17 to 27 for 278, a touchdown. I thought he threw the ball. I mean, there was maybe 2 passes that he probably wish he had back, but would have been almost picked off. But other than those 2, I thought he was on point. Like, especially there was one where he fit the ball in a very tight window to Tayshaun Palmer, I think, to get that first down on 3rd and long.
Right. Yep.
Yes, that was a very nice ball. He had a very nice, a couple deep balls to Schropp. Like, I just saw that he was on point. And also, too, hey, we got to see him run the ball a little bit more today. They weren't afraid to tell Dylan, hey, you pull it and take it,
Yes, man. I was impressed with Dylan like so much. I think we finally first, we saw that there is trust. I think it must have been a conversation. It was like, hey, I'm gonna trust you and I'm gonna put the ball in your hands. And I feel like we allowed him time to find the rhythm. In the beginning, he kind of was overshooting, here and there, and he was just. But once he got everything going well, it was flawless. We was able to connect on that deep pass for the touchdown. He had missed one or two.
Yeah.
But then he got it right perfectly on the money. You can't keep doing that to Dylan after a while. And that was just really cool to see the trust between the coach and the quarterback. It was cool to see the execution. As you said, we played smart, no penalties. It was good, clean football. So we allowed Dylan to get in that rhythm. We didn't hurt ourselves. We didn't put ourselves behind the chains. And on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 9, we were able to stay on the field and show that, hey, we can convert in these situations. We can go across the middle. We can catch a drag. We can go deep. We'll go deep on you, and you're not going to be able to single coverage us. I think that was the most important thing that we put on film. You can't single coverage us, man. You think you can come down here in this box, do it at your own detriment. That's not going to work. And it's cool because I'm like, I see if this is the team that we are going forward, if we keep the game like mentally how we played, I'm so proud of the coaches, so proud of the team. Mentally, if this is the team that comes out day in, day out, we're the best in conference.
Right.
And not staying behind. I'm talking about every team. I feel like that. That's how I feel. And I'm pretty sure UTSA and WKU got something to say, and they should. They should have something to say. But I just feel like, of course, I'm going to be a bit biased, of course. But I feel like we are the best team when mentally we put it all together. And, it became some trash talking stuff in the second half. But in that first half, you notice, like, we kind of just did our jobs. We didn't worry about talking. We stayed focused, and we were just wanting to win the game, man. And
let the play on the field be your trash talk, man. That's what they did. It's like, hey, and you remember, what was it? Because we were sitting together when what was it? The guy from Middle Tennessee got up and flexed on who was it? Was it on Grayson Cash after they got a first down? It meant, like, dude, you down 41-14. Like, come on, man.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I saw a couple of that. Like, I saw it was like 4 minutes and I think you guys had to leave, but it's like 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And we was getting ready to leave, and we had got the ball back. We were just running down the time, and so they got like a tackle, for loss, like 1 yard loss. And that guy was like celebrating hard. I'm like, what is up with this team, man? Like, man, there's no way he was celebrating super hard. But it was cool to see us in that position. And I think right now in the season, like, one thing we can know, what do we know about this team? What do we know about the UAB team? Like, one, our defense is legit.
Yes.
Let's start there. Our defense has been the same defense from game one.
Look, and you're exactly right. And I was just going to say real quick, you limit this Middle Tennessee team to just 196 yards passing and to 14 points, and and seeing how explosive this offense has been all year, like, I can't even remember how much they put up on Miami, but I mean, it was a lot. And I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe one, but do you remember UAB giving up any explosive plays, like maybe one, but I don't really remember. Like it was kind of like maybe not.
It was a couple of passes where he was able to kind of roll out the pocket, and when he was on the run, he found the guy for like 15 yards.
But there was no like 50, 60 yard, bombs or anything. So and that's what that offense lives on. Like, that's the air raid, style they like to play, where they kind of live on hitting those big plays. But UAB said, all right, we're going to put 3 men down front. We're going to drop back, and you're going to have to earn every little yard you get. Hey, we'll give you a 5-yard dump pass. Okay, you can have that. But you're not going to get a 60, 70-yard pass on us.
And then when it was third, and it was those 3rd and 11s and stuff like that, 4th and 7s, we would send that crosser blitz.
Yes.
That linebackers, and we would down. It's like we was challenging it, and we was getting sacks. I'm like, our defense is so legit because on the back end we can hold up so well, but on the front end, especially when we send them, they don't have time, man. And then when we do the 3 down linemen, we do a good job of. You're gonna have to 5, 7, 4, 3 yards us all the way down the field, and that's hard to do against this team.
It is.
What I'm so impressed is like how we are so schemed up to where we can have 3 down linemen, but we find a way to stop the run.
Yeah.
Every single time when we in that defensive formation, like I need to go back and really look at the film, but I don't know. We do a good job of using those 3 down linemen to kind of clog up the middle, and then we use our speed at linebacker. And it was a couple of plays I saw Tyler Taylor, boom, sideline to sideline.
Yes. And there were 2 guys on defense that I definitely wanted to give shout outs to. One, Keandre Swoops. I mean, that dude was all over that field. I believe he totaled 14 tackles today. And secondly, how about Jackson Bratton, man? 9 tackles, 4 solo. Like, he made he made his presence known on the field too. And I mean, we know the obvious. Noah Wilder, of course, Tyler Taylor, like you just mentioned. It was great to see Kyle Harrell back out there. It was great to see him out there. Still doesn't look 100%, but he'll get there. Nakia Eason, yes, he had a sack today too.
Yeah, he got good pressure. Fish again.
Yes.
Fish was very, very dominant. He got some tackle for loss. He got some sacks in key moments. Grayson Cash caught a punt return, basically.
Oh man, I was gonna say that was the easiest interception of his career. Just like a pop fly. Like, all right, I got
it. yeah. He was calling the other guy off like, oh, let me check my email real quick. And all right, got the ball. Let's ride.
Yes.
And then it was a lot of guys on defense and on offense, man. It's just like that offensive line. Great job executing and playing good, clean football. When we play good, clean football, nobody can beat us, man. I think we can hold up with a lot of teams in this country. Schropp performed like a star. Tayshaun Palmer, and then you had the other receivers too that caught some over the middle. Bryce Davis caught a couple. Debo had 3 touchdowns. Skull looked. Oh yeah, we almost forgot about Skull. Not only running the ball, he was so patient running the ball, looking like a stud. Like look back at the film and watch those holes and watch how patient he is. And then when he sees it, especially when we run power or counter, he wait and he let our blockers get in position, and then bam, he shoots out a cannon. But he was laying guys down as a blocker.
See, that's what I was just about to say. And we talked about that during the game, Darren. Like if you guys are listening, go back and watch the film. Man, when he was pass blocking, he straight up knocked a couple of Middle Tennessee guys out, laying his shoulder.
Man, we got to put Skull at left tackle. Put him at Skull at pulling guard or something, man. He was laying them out. I'm like, this is not a big guy. This is left and right.
He was laying some big boys out too, man. I said,
yes. And he was doing it not only. It wasn't like it was just like a one-time thing. Like we was just watching Skull pass protect. Like this is so impressive. Like this dude is really going out there and putting wood on these dudes play after play.
Man,
it was really cool to see.
It was. And hey, Skull, 10 rushes for 114 yards with a touchdown. It was a 30-yard touchdown. And hey, how about Debo doing Debo things? 12 carries for 120 yards, 3 touchdowns today. So that gives him, is it 9 total now? Hold on, let me see. 'Cause I think he had 6.
Dude is
Let's
sick,
see.
bro.
Oh, it's 6. Okay.
No. I don't say. I said he's sick.
Oh, he is. Hey, well, no, he is sick, dude. Hey, I wish he wasn't
He's
sick
sick,
for the
bro.
Alabama A&M game. He would have had a couple more touchdowns. But hey, Debo, yeah, I mean, when you say Debo doing Debo things, it's just Debo doing Debo things. I mean, that dude is gonna play in the NFL. Like, if he keeps this up, man, he's gonna be playing on Sundays.
And one read where Dylan he read it and he kept it around in. Dylan was out running their cornerback, number 33.
Yes,
I was like, look at Dylan. Like, look at
man.
the
He
wheels. Look
he
at
got a
him.
he got a burst on him, man. Yeah, he got some speed.
Yeah, but I didn't expect him to outrun the corner. I'm like, bro, like he is really taking off. Like, so shout out
Yes.
to Dylan Hopkins. You played a really, really good game, man. And shout out to BV, man. Like, we challenge these coaches and we challenge these players on this podcast. Have no idea if they listen to it or not. But we challenge them anyway. And I feel like we kind of connect the fans' voices
Yes.
to the coaches. But, man, this was a whole great call game. I love to see the trust that Brian Vincent had in Dylan, and I love to see the execution in the mental part of the game, how we played. We played clean. Penalties and garbage time, I don't really care about. Let's not. Well, no. You don't want to have bad habits. So
Yeah.
let's clean that up. Never mind. Except what I just said. No, let's not do that. Let's keep playing clean football. Let's make that UAB culture and UAB tradition, and let's go
Right.
win.
Hey, let's go win them all. But and like, yeah, those penalties late, like they really didn't have any outcome on this game because the game was already well decided. But I know, BV's telling them, or he'll tell them, looking at the film tomorrow or Monday for practice, like they'll clean it up. And I'm just so, because honestly, like we gave our prediction in the preview, but in the back of my mind, I was like, man, I hope that Rice doesn't beat us twice, because that's always the saying, Darren. I don't know if you've ever, being a player, like if they tell you, don't let a team beat you twice. You had you lose a hard fought game, but with Rice, you really shouldn't have lost that game, but because of dumb mental errors and a couple of turnovers, you lost that game. And this team and coaching staff could have easily just dug their head in the sand and been like, all right, well, whatever. But no, they decided to bounce back, came into practice Monday, got it going Tuesday, all the way up leading to, and of course you got the Children's Harbor jerseys, you're representing the kids and them on your back. They just came in motivated, had a great week of practice leading up to this game. And this right here is UAB football, and this is what we wanted to see and what we anticipated seeing headed into this 2022 season. So, hey, if they can do this going forward, we might be in that championship game. Only one loss, hey, it's just one loss. So, hey, other teams, this Conference USA is a weird league. Everybody, I'd be shocked if there were 2 undefeated teams in the Conference USA championship at the end of the year. I think everybody's going to end up with a loss in conference play. Even UTSA, like I'm sure they'll slip up at some point, hopefully in Protective Stadium. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, man, this has me really excited about this season, and we played championship quality football today, and if we can do that for the remainder of the season, then hey, I'm on board, man.
Yeah, because we're gonna run into teams that has just the same amount of talent as middle or a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, I'm worried about us. Now I'm seeing is what we do, because I see game in, game out what our defense can do. But now I'm really seeing this is the offense. This is what we talk about when we play clean, when we're not predictable, and we play clean football and we play smart. We don't put ourselves behind the chains. It's not a tackle for loss. It may be a 2nd and 9 or something, but it's not 2nd and 20 because of freaking hold. So
Right.
we play the game right in between our heads. And we execute well. We don't make dumb reads and stuff. We just do what we're supposed to do. And sometimes when it's hat on the hat and maybe they have a free guy, give Debo and give Score the opportunity to break them down. Let Schrapp Cook go out there. Let Tajon Palmer go up there and get the ball. Like, we have all the ingredients. Now we see it on offense. Now it's about consistency and putting together going forward. And because we know our defense is going to do it. I always just put them down for the game. Like, all right, our defense is gonna do this. What makes our defense break some is if our offense put them in a bad position. But not only did we not put them in a bad position, we did our thing on offense. So kudos. Now we see it put together. Can we consistently put that team on the field? Can the coaches consistently get out of their comfort zone and form a new comfort zone of, hey, we're this balanced team. And if we do this, man, I got high hopes and high expectations going forward.
Me too. Well, again, UAB gets the win 41-14 over Middle Tennessee and improves to 3-2 overall and 1-1 in Conference USA play. But guys, Darian and I will be back probably Tuesday morning to get you guys ready for the Charlotte game. The Charlotte comes to town next Saturday to take on our UAB Blazers. But as always, guys, go Blazers.
Go Blazers.